In May 2015, the sudden disappearance of Jessica Rehfeld, a 22-year-old woman from Rapid City, South Dakota, shocked the local community. Jessica, described by friends and family as cheerful and friendly, had been entangled in a turbulent on-and-off relationship with her boyfriend, Jonathan Kleintaub. Their relationship was full of ups and downs, marked by repeated breakups and reconciliations. According to court records, Jonathan was possessive and extremely jealous. He suspected that Jessica was being unfaithful, believing that each time she broke up with him, she was actually reuniting with an ex-boyfriend. This obsession with betrayal gradually drove Jonathan to become controlling and emotionally abusive. He didn't just argue with Jessica, he harassed her relentlessly through phone calls, text messages, and even social media posts that publicly humiliated and threatened her. Fearing for her safety, Jessica reached out to friends and family for help. She petitioned the court for a temporary restraining order against Jonathan, hoping to escape the toxic and dangerous relationship. But tragedy struck just days after the protective order was granted. Jessica suddenly vanished without a trace. Her family immediately reported her missing. They knew Jessica had been living in fear, under the constant threat of her ex-boyfriend. Police launched an investigation, but every lead seemed to end in a dead end. There were no signs of a struggle at Jessica's home, no witnesses who saw her last moments, and her phone had gone silent since the day she disappeared. For over a year, the case remained cold. Jessica's loved ones were left in limbo, grieving yet still clinging to a fragile hope that she might be found alive. Then, in mid-2016, a breakthrough came when police received an anonymous tip. The caller claimed that Jessica's body had been hidden in a remote wooded area near Rapid City. According to this source, the crime was not a spontaneous act but a premeditated murder orchestrated by none other than Jonathan Kleintaub. Following the tip, authorities searched the specified location and discovered Jessica's decomposed remains in a shallow grave. The autopsy confirmed the identity of the victim. It was indeed Jessica Rehfeld, missing for over a year. The investigation reopened on a larger scale. Detectives uncovered a chilling plot that revealed Jessica's death was not the work of a lone killer but part of a coordinated plan. Jonathan had hired others to carry out the murder for him. He promised them thousands of dollars in exchange for abducting, killing, and disposing of Jessica's body in the forest, ensuring no one would find her. Jonathan was the mastermind behind the crime. He selected the location, planned the logistics, and manipulated others into doing his dirty work. His motive was pure hatred. Unable to accept Jessica leaving him, and especially furious at the thought of her getting back with her previous boyfriend, Jonathan believed that killing her was the only way to regain control and end his obsession with betrayal. Eventually, police arrested Jonathan Kleintaub along with his accomplices. In court, Jonathan showed no remorse. Testimonies from his co-conspirators revealed that he had repeatedly expressed his desire to take care of Jessica so she would never return to anyone else. To him, murdering her was the ultimate act of revenge and control. This case shocked not only the local community but also people across the country when it made national headlines. It wasn't just a case of murder, it was a chilling reflection of how emotional abuse, possessiveness, and pathological jealousy can escalate into fatal violence. Jessica Rehfeld's family was devastated by the truth. They could not imagine that someone who once claimed to love Jessica would cruelly plan her murder in such a calculated way. Their grief was compounded by the knowledge that Jessica spent her final days living in terror, ultimately betrayed and destroyed by the person she trusted. Jonathan Kleintaub was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. His accomplices also received heavy sentences based on their level of involvement in the crime. Although the trial ended, the haunting legacy of the case continues to serve as a grim reminder of the dangers of toxic relationships. This tragedy highlights a critical lesson: love is not control, jealousy, or manipulation. If you find yourself trapped in an emotionally abusive or violent relationship, seek help before it's too late. There is no justification for turning love into possession, and no excuse for turning a breakup into murder.